Alright, so let's start building your first pages. I'll show you how simple it is to modify everything about your design, and you can do that in a few minutes, and you can completely modify the page and the design that you've selected. So let's get started. This is a yoga template for a yoga website, and this is the landing page. So let me show you how you can modify the blocks and the structure of your website, whatever template you've selected. So by default, everything in your website is structured into blocks, which are the building main elements of your pages. And you can add between each two blocks, you can add a new block by clicking on Add Block button. But that in a moment. So every block can be split into different columns, and I encourage you to use columns because that helps you organize your content. Like in this case, we've separated into two columns because it's a lot easier to just have it like 50% and just add your content into this left side. You can obviously split it into different columns to create different types of designs. Like for example, in this case, we have a column that is split into four for the 4 different sections. So I encourage you to use the columns because they help you quite a lot. And symmetry is very important when you're building any type of design. All right. So the blocks, what you can do with them. Obviously, you can change the color of background of your blocks. In this case, we have this two women, to which we've added actually an overlay, so that will help the image, the text pop out because the image is actually too bright. So we've added this add overlay option, and you can obviously adjust the color of it. Alright, so the block you can also you can add padding on top and on the bottom. Simply by clicking on the section, you can create it. This is good because your design needs a room to breathe. So I always encourage you to have some really nice paddings on top and on the bottom, because a design looking like this obviously is not very appealing, right? As you have the text stick to the top side of your header. So keep it nice and spacious. You can do the same thing between elements as well. So you have these handles and you can use them to create these margins like this in the bottom. So this is super simple and easy way to do so. Each column as well has its own settings too. So let's say an example of that. All right, let's just do it here. So the column, if you click on the settings, you can see different types of settings that you can add, such as background, image or color, like this, for example. If you want to do something like, just for the example, something with opacity, you can add some top margin if you want to make some really nice designs. I will show you in a moment. You can even add border size, border radius, stuff like that, and a shadow. Yeah, you can do all these things, and let me show you how you can actually make it look better, because right now again there is no spacing. So you can drag this handle on the side of the column and just drag it to the right, and you're just now creating space on the right side, and you can do space on the left side and now on the right side. You can do space on the top as well by dragging like this. And all that has left is to do some spacing on the bottom, and you can simply do it by clicking on Add Widget on the left side. There you see all the different elements that you can add to your design when you're building things. In this case, all we need is a space, so you can just drag, and the blue line will actually indicate where you can drop it, and you just drop it at the bottom and simply resize it. And just like that, we've created a column where you have a background with paddings on the side and some really nice spacing between the elements. This is a drag and drop builder, so you can actually arrange the position of your elements the way you want. You can have them on the side, you can have them on the bottom, and always you can also resize them like that. So you can play around, you can get a feel of it, spend a few minutes to just get a better feel of how everything is working. But as you can see, it's so simple, and you don't have to know any skills to create any design. Alright, so between two sections, you can add a block. If you click on it, you can actually see all the different amazing designs that we've created. Or you can add an empty one that you can add your own elements to it. but I generally encourage you to just see what kind of designs that we have. They're made with professionals, so you can just add them with one click. So let's say that we want to add something like, I don't know, like some kind of courses. All you have to do is just click on it and it will be added to your design right away. And all you have to do is change the text, change the images, for example, modify if you don't like something about it, but it's already built in, so you can just modify it slightly and save so much time this way. And let's say that you don't like the images being so tall, you can just resize them like this and align them the way you want. You don't like the buttons, delete the button, no problem. And yeah, just like that we have a new section. Now if you want to have more space on top, and this option where I told you that you can actually create a negative margin, and just like this you've created a really nice interesting design like this. So yeah, you can create all sorts of different and amazing things. You can do it like, for example, like this actually is better. So you can play around and create your own unique spins and designs the way you want. So you can create your own blocks or just use the pages that are already in your design. Something else about building your pages is that yeah, you can copy all the elements. So let's say that you like this row with these services, you can just copy it, and once you do, you will see this circle on top. You can click on it and you will see all the copied elements. So you can just drag it, drop it anywhere that you want, and you have the same exact copy that you had before, and you can just modify it with the new services that you provide. You can copy different elements through your design and you reuse them anywhere into your designs and pages within that one website or project in general. So it is an amazingly powerful tool when building things. So keep in mind, the copy is really amazing and you can always clear it out, so you can remove it. At the end, obviously, you have the footer, so anything that you put in the footer area, that will be visible on all the pages that have the footer. If you don't want to have it, you can just hide it for this page only. If you want to completely remove it, just remove it for each page individually. Same goes for the header. Completely modify it or hide it if you don't want to see it on this particular page. So this is how simple it is to build your pages, modify them. As you can see just before we finish this video, is that you can actually, when you click on each widget, you have the different settings that there are, like animation, the copy option, the delete. Obviously you can just double click to start editing the text, double click to edit the button, or just use the other settings such as, you know, the styling, the arrangement of the button. So this is very straightforward, and the different widgets obviously have different settings. As in this case, you have an image with image settings, etc, etc. And again, if you want to add any element, simply use the add widget option on the side. This is how simple it is. In the next videos, I will show you some other things, how to build your first pages, pop-ups, and a lot more. I hope you liked it, and if you have any questions, just let us know.